Okay, hello everybody. My name is Hugo and this is Tom. We're going to be doing a talk about the trail ahead for UK mountain bike tourism. Just to kind of gauge the audience, have we got any mountain bikers here right now? Do you want to raise your hands up? Any road riders? Any just general commuters? Okay, well hopefully this talk will be for everybody.
So, are you guys familiar with this headline from last summer? £31 billion was put back into the UK economy because people didn't go abroad. Now, that's quite a big number. So let's just imagine for a second this isn't Brighton Beach and this isn't about freak weather. Let's imagine this is the kind of money which we can spread into forgotten villages all over the UK. And we're not talking here about Brexit.
Definitely
what are you talking about, Hugo?
Brexit. So we're going to do a little introduction about what we do. We're then going to talk about the places that we really love to ride. We're going to talk about the explosive growth in cycling, as you guys are all aware of. We're then going to go into a little bit of detail around kind of case studies and analysing locations that have put together really great mountain bike tourism strategies. And then we're going to talk about what we do as a company.
We are the provider of mountain bike tours in UK national parks and areas of outstanding natural beauty. And this is our mission, really, is to basically take people out in one way or another, out into nature, just have a great time on their bikes. That's what we're about. And we do this through a number of different routes, with guided rides, self-guided rides, we do yoga mountain bike retreats, we do beginner stuff, we do all sorts of stuff, and I love it. So here we are today talking about it.
So has anyone ever ridden Exmoor before? Put your hands up if you've ridden Exmoor. Exmoor, anyone? One person. This place is without doubt one of the best places to go riding in the south of the UK.
Forget riding, it's one of the best places to go in the whole of the UK.
Yeah, it boasts the highest sea cliffs in mainland UK. It has the second highest point in the south of England, and the trails here are unbelievable. They're single track that spreads right across the cliffs, right down into the ancient oak forest. This place is definitely worth going to. We're actually there this week, and we actually ended up climbing halfway up the height of Everest. So there is a lot of altitude in this location.
So as Hugo just said, Exmoor has got the second highest point in the south of the UK. Where's got the first? It's Dartmoor, which is 600 metres high at its highest point. And that is, to give you some kind of reference for people who live in London, that's twice the size of the Shard. Dartmoor's got over 150 tours, which are these kind of like rock formations that you can see here. And the riding kind of descends right from the top of these tours. We've just got epic views into like massive amounts of wilderness, and you've just got no idea that you're in the UK. You could be on the moon, but it's nice and green. And you descend right down into the riverbeds, along the rivers, into the deep forests. It's magical. And some of the tours we do, we take in the dark skies of Dartmoor. So we'll ride right through into the night, set up a little campfire, and just take in the mad sky.
So another slightly more accessible adventure that you can do is Cheddar Gorge, and this is only about 20-30 minutes from Bristol. We actually went up here last summer for sunset with some fish and chips in our bag. My friend, and we bivvied at the top, and my friend suffers from sleepwalking, so he had to tie his foot with rope to my foot so that he was worried that he would fall into the gorge.
And then also just to show off some of the point-to-point sort of multi-day routes in the UK, which some people, even experienced riders, just don't know about these things because no one's really shouting about them, is, we've got the Ridgeway, we've got South Downs Way, and then my favourite, which I'm going to just quickly touch on, is the Southwest Coast to Coast, and that's riding from the north coast of Devon, so starting at Exmoor, riding all the way down through Dartmoor and finishing at Salcombe in South Devon, and that is just like, it's amazing. And that is a route that we're going to be supporting this year, so we take people to do that kind of stuff too.
So that's a little bit small snippet about some of the locations that we ride. As we know, UK cycling industry is growing. It's actually doubled in the last sort of 9 years. Scotland has reported that mountain bike tourism actually equates to 35% of the total mountain bike industry. And we got this report from the Sustainable Development of Mountain Biking in Scotland. Scotland are doing a great job in putting together kind of a strategy for mountain bike tourism, but England need to follow, and also the UK need to follow as well.
So we're going to quickly look at a place which has a massive success story about implementing a mountain bike strategy. And this is Tasmania. Has anyone been to Tasmania before? I really hope someone has, so I can just run out and high-five them. Yes! What a place. What a place. Okay, so Tasmania implemented this mountain bike strategy and went from an old ghost town where the Forestry Commission had stopped putting their work there, so there's about 170 people who live there who suddenly don't have jobs. They had some informal mountain bike trails going on, and people kind of knew it was a good place to go to, but it kind of combined with the story of the Australian government being like, all the mountain bikers are going to New Zealand where it's amazing, but we actually have mountains here too. So why don't we look at keeping that money in-house? Put together Blue Derby, and it's, as the numbers say here, from a ghost town in just 3 years to $23 million a year for the local government. How do you do that? Let's talk about it. So, as well as extending the natural trail network, which was already there, just like normal walking paths and that kind of stuff, they brought in the arguably one of the best trail builders in the world, who were some Aussies, Glenn Jacobs, who built the downhill World Cup track at Cairns, brought in this team and just said, let's have some fun with this place. And now there's hundreds of kilometers of trails there. You build it and they will come. These guys proved that. They legalized the trails and then brought in sponsors. So every trail has got a sponsor to it. And that means that there's funds there to keep that trail maintained. I think this is really quite an important point to make, is that our national parks are not mapped out in any way for mountain biking or cycling, really. Like, you really have to struggle, and these guys just made it so accessible. Like, if you go and look at the Surrey Hills right now, it's just like middle-class white guys on £5 bikes. But when I rode here, I was like, oh my god, there's like kids enjoying these trails, like families enjoying these trails. Like, this is what cycling should be like. It shouldn't be looked at as like hardcore only. Like, this is something to be enjoyed by everybody.
So another thing they do really well is that they accommodate for all of these mountain bikers with cafes that are friendly to mountain bikers and cycling. They actually have a free campsite right at the bottom of the trail.
It's so sick. It's like this campsite at the bottom of the trail, like along the river, and it's so good.
And they also put together like parking, local pump tracks, and they shout about it. They really tell everyone why it's so good. Another great thing they do is they put together marketing strategies, and this is something that the UK is really, really quite bad at. So they put together destination showcases, and that involves lots of pictures, lots of videos, all around these local areas. An example of this is that Exmoor's a fantastic place to ride, but there's really not a lot of content around why that area is so good. The local kind of national body needs to get behind it, the local national parks need to get behind it, the National Trust, and all kind of the area managers, and they need to back that content and put it out there.
Yeah, just on that point, sorry Hugo. Like, when we go and do stuff in national parks, we talk to the local landowners and talk to the national parks like, guys, we are absolutely doing your job. We are bringing in people from not only all around the UK to come and see your places and bringing money to the area. We are like bringing tourists from outside of the country simply to come and ride with us and show them that. But we tell them that, and it's like talking to a brick wall. It's like, let's work together on this.
Another thing they do really well is events. So I think Tom touched on it, but the EWS is now, the World Series Enduro is now going to Tasmania this year, and that is an amazing benefit to the local area. Not only money-wise, but also just getting the kind of word out of the riding in the location. An example of this is the Cape Epic. That actually brings in $82 million a year into Cape Town, which is insane.
Well, it's not just Cape Town, is it? Because it's a 5-day race which goes all through South Africa. So it really is taking money like out all through South Africa, and it's the most viewed mountain bike race in the world.
Yeah. Another thing that they can start doing is getting stakeholders invested and promote. And what I want to now see is anyone from Visit England here.
Please,
or
somebody.
Any stands from Visit? We got the Visit Cyprus here.
Doing a great job over there.
No Visit England, no Visit Wales, no Visit Scotland, no Visit UK. And I want to point out this slide. So this is, if you type in cycling into Visit England, this comes up. There's a couple of points that I just want to pull up. First of all, anyone tried cycling on sand? It's pretty difficult. Second of all, there's no surf in this picture. and she's carrying a surfboard. And the third thing is that mountain biking comes under extreme sports in this, and that is really not a like inviting thing. If a family sees that, they don't want to be taking their kids to go and do extreme stuff. They want to be taking them to go do accessible mountain biking, accessible off-road cycling. So I think Visit England, Visit Scotland are doing quite well, but Visit UK aren't. They just need to really invest and make sure that they're putting some time and effort into the stuff that they're promoting. People that are coming from outside into the UK are seeing this straight away. They're going to think, oh, sweet, let's go shred some sand.
Yes. And this, just to go back to that last point, like when we go to these events, this is typical. Like Visit Cyprus, Visit Nepal, Visit all the tourism boards come to the UK, and like, where is the UK tourism board saying like, guys, you live in a great country, let's do some cool stuff? Where is that?
So that's a little bit about the local kind of riding in the UK and what we think needs to be put together strategy-wise. But this is a little bit about what we're doing. So as a business, Trail Unknown, we're putting together destination showcases. And thank you very much to the brands who have kind of supported this. So these destination showcases are
kind of
videos and pictures around the area and write-ups. And individuals like Specialized and OS Maps have been really good with kind of supporting us to create this content and helping us generate kind of a bit of a shout out about these locations. So a second thing that we've been putting together are self-guided rides. So these are packages that people can look at and travel using. So these involve local GPX files, they involve maps, and just like general information about the area. And we'll be putting these up on our website soon, so you can head, if you want to head to Dartmoor and not get a local guide, you can check out these self-guided rides, and it has all the information you need to go for an adventure, either 2 hours, half a day, a full day, and also multi-day rides as well. So check these out when you can. Another thing we do is our guided rides. So Tom, do you want to tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, so this is obviously like our main business, is like hooking up with all the local guides in all of the national parks and basically beautiful areas in the UK. And we just make sure that there's people going there. Like, so we'll employ the guides, we like help them put together the route, which is just unreal, like bringing together all the like most famous trails in that area, all the unknown trails in that area, bringing all the viewpoints, like hit all the lovely little cheese places and tea rooms, and just make like this epic adventure out of just showcasing the best of this area. This is our conclusion slide. So the UK, as well, I hope we've just presented our case, needs to get behind cycling and just realise that this is an industry not just about like hardcores anymore. This is a serious, like, if you want to look at it like a business opportunity, we need to bring together all the stakeholders, like the landowners, the local infrastructure needs to improve in the areas. They need to make sure that everything is accessible for mountain bikers, so bike washes, local cafes, make sure the local businesses are aware. And they also need to just start shouting about these areas. That's the most important thing, isn't it? Just like, it's there, let's just tell people about it.
We're just a small business. Like, there's only so far we can go. These national kind of parks need to get behind the amazing trails that they have. And they need to back mountain biking as a kind of serious contender for bringing a lot of tourists to their area. So that's us. We won't bore you anymore, but if you are interested, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. If there's anyone that feels like they can help us out with kind of our mission in growing natural riding in the UK, then please come and talk to us.
Yeah, and if we've made any of you just reconsider about like a holiday abroad versus like a holiday in your backyard, then we've come in, we've achieved what we wanted to achieve.
Yeah. Cool. Well, thank you very much for your time.